Welcome to the 360 show. I am back home. What an incredible IPL finish we witnessed. RCB. I'm very happy. I know there's millions of people out there who are right behind RCB as well. Unlucky Punjab Kings, but what a great finish to an incredible tournament. Also, we talk about WTC. It's the World Test Championship as Themba Bavuma and his troops take on Pat Cummins and the Aussies over there at Lords. I will be flying over there and I will be watching that game live with my boys. Lots to talk about on this week's 360 show. Let's hit it. All right, the stopwatch is ready. It is time for the 360 view, and we will be using 360 seconds to discuss today's topics, which will be the WTC final that is between South Africa and Australia. As you know, over there at Lords, fantastic cricket ground to play cricket at. I've played quite a few test matches there. You all know about that slope, very tricky for batters to deal with. There's always a little bit of sea movement right throughout the innings, people, and that's what makes Lords a lot different to some other grounds around the world. As a bowler, you always feel you're in with a chance as long as you show discipline and as long as you know how to use that slope. Sometimes the ball moves the opposite direction as to which way the wicket is angled, which can be very, very tricky for batters to deal with. So lots to think about. But first off, South Africa's 11, playing 11. It'll be very interesting to see what they get up to. Captain by Themba Bavuma, he will most probably fit into that number 4 slot. But I do know they have some decisions to make. Opening pair, I think it's been De Zorzi and Rickleton at the top. So we'll see if that stays the same. I have heard some rumors about Markram possibly opening the batting. But anyway, let's stick to what I think is going to happen. Markram at 3, I would love that. Bavuma at 4. We have Tristan Stubbs at 5, and then that's where the decisions need to be made. So David Bedingham slotting in at number 6, perhaps. If he doesn't play, then they have the opportunity to play with an all-rounder in a Vian Mulder. Obviously, Kyle Verreynne is there, the wicketkeeper, and the 4 bowlers, Kagiso Rabada, Maharaj, I think Dane Patterson and Marco Jansen. Good team. Are they favourites? I don't think so, because they are up against a very well-oiled machine, as I've mentioned in a few interviews in the past. I don't know if that sounds nice, but a well-oiled machine. But that's certainly how they operate, the Aussies. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They're very consistent. They have a very lethal bowling attack. The batting attack, I feel, is the area where South Africa's bowlers will have to find a bit of weakness. We have to get a Steve Smith out of form. That's the number 1 priority. If he scores runs, we're going to be in trouble. Simple as that, because there's more than enough firepower to bat around him. But we have to find a way to get rid of Steve Smith, or at least not get him past 30, 40, because generally he converts that into big hundreds. I do know they have a few issues up the order. Will it be Sam Constas up the order, or will they find a slot up the order for Marnus Labuschagne? I've heard rumors about that. Some people speculating that Marnus might open the batting alongside Usman Khawaja. But we know Sam Constas has been in decent form. He might be a little bit overly aggressive, I think, for the English conditions. You can get away with those kind of shots, the lap shots and the reverse scoops and all sorts of stuff on the good Aussie wickets where the bounce is consistent. But in England, I feel there's just too much that'll happen for a Sam Constas to be consistently good there. That's my 5 cents. Just quickly, the bowling lineup then, guys. Pat Cummins, Scott Boland, Mitchell Starc, Josh Hazlewood, Nathan Lyon. One of those will have to sit out. I do feel Scott Boland might miss out if the rest are fit. Very difficult for me to think they'll leave out. Well, obviously Pat Cummins will play, but then between Mitchell Starc, Josh Hazlewood, Nathan Lyon, to leave one of those out, it's just not possible unless you find a way to drop one of your batters and play an extra bowler. But I can't see that happening, as they will need the batters to score runs at Lords. Very, very, very important to go 300 plus at Lords. That's generally a benchmark number for me. If you get close to 400, generally you are safe over there at Lords and you put yourself in a position to win the test match. It's going to be a great test challenge for these two teams. It is a final. So don't count South Africa out, even though they haven't won a lot of finals, but that is in white ball cricket, remember. With the red ball, they have won the Mace before. I was part of the team between 2008 and 2013, where we were very, very consistent. But that is enough of the WTC. Strap it up. It's going to be great, guys. Buckle up. Not strap it up. Strap in. Buckle up. It's going to be a great test match, and I will be there. I don't think this test match will last 5 days, but let's see. You never know. All right, let's move on to something even juicier, something in the past. You guessed it right, the IPL Final. I was there. What an incredible experience. I was so emotional. I was really trying my best to hide the tears. As you see some of the images there, I went to AB de Villiers, was literally crying. I had some tears floating around, and I was just trying to tell myself, keep it back, keep it back. Not now on global broadcast. What a fantastic experience. Seeing Virat there at the long off boundary, we were right there next to each other. I didn't want to bother him. I went down from a commentary box because I couldn't handle the pressure up there anymore, because there was a delay on the TV of about 5 to 7 seconds. So I would hear a roar outside, and then I would have to wait to see the result on the television screen. And I lasted until I think the 11th, 12th over, and I told the guys in there, I'm sorry, I'm out. I can't anymore. So I walked down and I watched the rest of the game live downstairs, and maybe even brought a little bit of extra luck for the boys, because we started bowling exceptionally well as soon as I arrived there. So I'm going to claim it. But it was very special that Virat interacted with me on the boundary there. I wasn't expecting it, and even more so, I was definitely not expecting all the praise I received from him and the team afterwards. It completely blew me away, got me very emotional, and I will forever be grateful for being part of this team, this franchise. And I told you guys I will be there for that final. I've made a promise, and I followed through. It was great to have Chris Henry Gale there next to me as well. He was definitely not shy of picking up that trophy. He was very happy. I was a little bit hesitant, I didn't really play. Well, am I really part of this? And Virat was like, touch the trophy. You lift it with me. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, definitely a moment in my life that I'll never forget. And I do have something special lined up for you guys. And on the way back on the airplane, I was doing a bit of writing, as I wanted to put my emotions down. By the way, the 360 view is done now. I see I got it completely wrong. Over 360 seconds. I wanted to get my emotions with on paper, in black and white, and I decided to write, and I ended up writing like 3 pages of emotions and things that were crossing my mind and how I felt being there. And I got something special together for you guys of all the years with RCB, and just the gratitude that I felt in my heart for being acknowledged like I was. So if you don't mind, here's a couple of minutes. I hope you enjoy it.
Dear RCB family, last night was something words will never fully do justice to, but I'll try, because the heart deserves to speak when it's full. As I walked into the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad, the sun had already dipped below the skyline, but it felt like the red of RCB still lit up the horizon. A neutral venue, they said, but when I heard the roar, saw the jerseys, the flags, the faces painted with red and gold, I knew this was home. Somehow, even in the west of India, it felt like we were back at the Chinnaswamy. What I witnessed was not just a cricket match, but a culmination. A culmination of belief, heartbreaks, near misses, miracles, and an undying loyalty that no trophy until now had been able to reward. But last night, it happened. RCB, the team that became family to me, are champions of the IPL. It feels good to say that. It was a moment I had dreamt of, but even in those wildest dreams, I couldn't have imagined it this perfect. The foundation of this franchise, the leadership, the passion, the people behind the scenes who never stop working, the fans who never stop believing, all came together like never before. That's what made this so much more than just a victory. And then, as if the night hadn't already stirred every emotion, there was Virat, standing at long off right in front of me. Our eyes met for a brief moment, and that was all it took. We didn't need words. In that quiet exchange, everything was understood. The years, the near misses, the weight we'd both carried for this dream. There were tears, yes, but more than that, there was a deep, unspoken knowing. We've shared countless innings, conversations, and battles together. But the words he spoke after the game, the way he acknowledged our journey, contributions, and shared memories, it touched a part of me that few things in this game ever have. That moment reminded me, it's not about the numbers, it's about the connections. It's about what we leave behind in each other's stories. To see players like Rajat, Devdutt, and even some of the newer faces who were just youngsters when I played, now stepping up on the biggest stage, it was surreal. I've seen their raw potential, their hunger in the nets, their excitement just to share a dressing room, and now they've turned that promise into history, and I couldn't be prouder. To the RCB management, to the coaching staff, to the ever-loyal fans, and to every single player who's worn this jersey, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this beautiful legacy. Even though I wasn't out there batting last night, a piece of my heart always will be. This title means more because of the journey that came before it, and for me, this will always be one of the greatest joys of my life. Seeing the team I love finally lift that trophy. With all my love, pride and gratitude, your Mr. 360, ABD.
Yeah, heartfelt words definitely there. It came from the heart, there's no doubt about that. And as I said, something I will never forget for the rest of my life. I mean, I definitely didn't deserve or expect that kind of reaction from the team, from Virat, from all the fans. It sort of took me back all the years, to all the years of playing for RCB. And as I said there in that letter, a part of me will always bat for RCB. Whoa, goosebump stuff, man. I'm so happy I could share that with you guys. And on that note, remember, I was writing this in the plane on the way back. And as I got back, I heard about the terrible news of the Stampede and heartbreaking. And that's why also I didn't release the letter straight away, as I wanted to get a post out first to tell everyone that my thoughts and prayers are with the families affected in that terrible thing that happened around the Chinnaswamy. Really sorry about that. A bit of a really sad ending to an incredible season. It's time now to move on to AB Reacts. I love this. All right, some news that's out around the world, and it's not only going to be cricket. I've got something very cool that I want to talk about. But first of all, South Africa's squad to Zimbabwe. A couple of changes here, guys. And why I bring this up is I am delighted to tell you that Dewald Brevis will be featuring in this test squad. I'm very, very happy for him. And also another youngster, Luhandre Pretorius. I specifically mentioned these two because I've been talking about them a lot during the SA20, especially Dewald Brevis, but also Luhandre, the left-hander, very powerful player. Great prospect for the future for South Africa. Is a real talent, guys. Fantastic ball strike. And we see Brevis as well now in the T20 Blast in the UK doing exceptionally well. Really sort of stirring the pot there and making bowlers raise their eyebrows. Like, what is this guy up to? He's playing for Hampshire under Adrian Burrell. And as you know, Adrian Burrell used to be one of our coaches for the Proteas when I was there. So it is very comforting to me to know that Dewald is in great, very safe hands over there in the UK. But that is a very exciting test squad as we look ahead to the future. And I like that. A little bit of proactive thinking from the selectors, really giving some experience to the youngsters. Also, Zubair Hamza, I see features there. Cody Youssef. Pirilan Subrayan is back in the squad. Lesego Senokwane. And who else is new? That's about it. Kwena Mapaka, great left-arm fast bowler. Also still very young. I think he's even got another yard of pace in him, which will be scary. So the selectors being proactive, and that's why I brought this up, and that's what I love. So, by the way, the test matches are happening the 28th of June until the 2nd of July. And the second one is the 6th till the 10th of July. So really, really cool. And I hope those two youngsters that I mentioned, Brevis and Proteas, get game time. Hopefully at least one of the 2 test matches. Something interesting happened at the IPL, guys, that I picked up on. As you know, Shashang Singh with that run out, sort of jogging and then realizing he's in trouble, and he got run out. And afterwards, Shreyas Iyer really had a full go at him. And this was Shashang's reply when he got asked about it. He said, "I deserved it." He should have slapped me, he said. So really nice for him to own up to that, because those are the kind of things you can prevent from happening in cricket games. You can control that. But he says, luckily, Shreyas took him out for dinner later on. So all's forgiven. But it's great. And it shows you the maturity of Shreyas Iyer's captaincy and how he takes responsibility and how he's not scared of standing up for things he believes in, for the standards of his team. I really feel he's a fantastic leader, and definitely one of India's future leaders. I feel obviously Shubman Gill's there as well now, but maybe in the other formats there will be opportunity for Shreyas to shine, I think, in the future. And you can't ignore how incredibly consistent he has been as captain with his performances individually, but also for the team. Just a wonderful player. So here's the other topic. I was sitting in front of the television screen for 5.5 hours yesterday. Actually 6, because I watched the warm-ups as well and the build-up. Maybe 6.5 even. My wife eventually said, "Are you going to get up at some stage?" It was the Roland Garros final, the French Open, that is in France, Paris. Fantastic tennis match. I've got to say, I love both of these players, Alcaraz and Sinner. I was leaning a little bit towards Sinner because I like his personality more, as he's a bit more humble, quiet, shy. He just stuck in that bubble for 5 sets, even though the crowd got incredibly, terribly against him. And that really upset me, as they almost disrupted his serve a few times, and really they got a bit nasty. And so that left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. I didn't enjoy that part of it. And Alcaraz really asking the crowd to keep going and pushing it on. But in saying that, I love Carlos Alcaraz as well. There's nothing bad I can say about him. And if anything, he was using something to his advantage that was well within the laws of the game. So maybe, in a way, credit to him, but it just made me feel a little bit sick. I don't like stuff like that. Anyway, at the end of the day, 2 fantastic players. We're going to see a lot more from these two. Hopefully, Sinner will get an opportunity at some stage to get the crowd on his side, just maybe once. Maybe he'll get that chance in Wimbledon soon. We'll see. But some of the most amazing points I've ever witnessed in any tennis major, and it was really an honor and a privilege to watch live sport like that. All right, let's move on to the Combox. The Combox, guys, that's where you guys come in. I want to thank you for all your comments. By the way, the Instagram broadcast channel, well over 1.2 million now. So I want to thank you guys for that. That's breaking records, literally. I'm passing some of the big franchises in the IPL here because of you guys. Thank you so much for the love. And I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for being on the show and supporting me. At the end of the day, it's all about connecting with you people. And I absolutely love sharing my thoughts and what I get up to with you guys. All right, very satisfied and truly happy to my core to see you 3 lifted your very own trophy. Yes, it was really special. What is it? Matilla, I think is your name. It was an incredible experience. Thanks for your comment there. Thank you, AB, watching you, Chris and Virat lifting the trophy. I mean, yeah, to be sort of forgot about all the heartbreaks. Thanks to Virat and the youngsters. And as you would have seen in that video that I just shared with you guys, I speak about Rajat Patidar and Devdutt Padikkal and how they came up to me after the game and they thanked me for everything I did for them. And I didn't even realize when I was playing back in the day that I was having an impact on the young players. But they made me believe that I had a big impact on them, which sort of, I mean, it took my breath away. Just that thought. And there, both of them are in the final representing RCB, obviously Patidar as captain. And that's something I never saw coming. So, and obviously Virat was there. Just a great experience. We waited, we roared, we tried, we did. Indeed. What one rule do you think about implemented in Test cricket? I actually have thought about this for a long time, and it's a great question. How about if a no ball gets a free hit as well, like in white ball cricket? I wouldn't mind that. I think it'll bring a bit of excitement to Test cricket. And Test cricket is already the greatest format of them all. But I think if a bowler oversteps, it should be a free hit. I would just love to see batters sometimes open their shoulders with a brand new red Kookaburra or Duke ball over there in the UK and just have a full tonk. It's a bit of a silly rule, that, but I just thought maybe that could bring a bit of excitement and sort of make the bowlers focus a bit extra and making sure they don't bowl that no ball. Could you please teach about placement of fielders on field, including their name with explanation? Yes, I could possibly do that. I'm not exactly sure I understand the question, but maybe we can play a little bit around with fields and with tactics. I would love to tell you guys what I thought about when I saw different fields and different setups, how I knew what the bowlers were sometimes going to bowl. I understood their options, their stock ball, their change-ups, what line they were thinking to surprise me with. Those are all the things that go through your mind as a batter when you see a field setup. You watch the captain talk to the bowler, and you try and get tips and ideas of what they are trying to do to counter your game plans. Thoughts on Klaasen and Maxi? Yes, obviously Heinrich Klaasen retiring from all formats. We will see him around at the IPL and other tournaments, I believe, but very, very sad. And I mean, I don't want to say anything controversial, but I have a fair idea of what went down there. He must have been unhappy with a few things. And I know he did release something about Rob Walter, who is not the coach anymore of the Proteas. He's moved on to New Zealand now to coach there. Big loss for South Africa, but Heinrich mentioned something along the lines of him and Rob Walter had the conversation and they were planning towards 2027 World Cup. And the next minute, Rob Walter was moving on. I'm not going to say what I think happened. Anyway, very sad there. Guy with so much potential. Probably should have played over 50 test matches by now for South Africa as well. Huge loss. Huge loss. Very, very sad. All right, Glenn Maxwell. He's done and dusted with ODI cricket. What a great career, Maxi. I sent him a message congratulating him on all the stuff that he got up to, because it was quite entertaining to watch that guy. Probably one of the best ODI knocks of all time against Afghanistan in that World Cup, and ultimately Australia went on to win that World Cup. They were in trouble. They were looking like they might get kicked out of the World Cup, and the next minute Maxi scores a double and they go on to win it. So absolutely phenomenal player, great in the field. I played with him at RCB and I really enjoyed our time together. Last but not least, thank you, Avi. It's really difficult to find a well-known athlete promoting social causes. Respect for that. Hope people keep social promotions, pay promotions to bring humanity. Absolutely. Thank you. You see, sometimes there are things that I do that I get paid for, and what I sometimes feel is sometimes I don't deserve the pay, and that's where I always take the funds and give it to charity. I think of Cameos as an app that I have on my phone where I send personalized messages to fans. It doesn't feel like work to me. It's an honor to be able to do that, but I ask a small fee, or actually quite a big fee, for people to get personalized video messages from me, and all those funds go into a foundation trust, and I use those local funds here to pay for less privileged kids school fees. So I get kids through school. There are about 6 in the program at the moment, and hoping to build it up to many more. And then, as you know, I'm part of Project Mumbai and also Make a Difference organization over there in India. I spent some quality time with both organizations. With MAD, we had a great activation where I spent time with volunteers. So if you're listening, please put up your hand, volunteer for MAD, and help make a difference in people's lives. And also Project Mumbai, as you know, we've picked up plastic waste on beaches, and I turned that into plastic bats that I handed out to a school. It's such a great, heartwarming moment in my life to be able to do that. But not only that, Project Mumbai is involved in many, many different projects around Mumbai and the city of Mumbai. So please join them as well. And if you can, put your hand up, put a helping hand out there for people in need, and also not only people, but also our environment. So they focus on a bit of everything. There's also an interview with Ajinkya Rihani coming up, guys, so keep an eye out for that. I had a great chat with him in Araku coffee shop in Mumbai. We're both a little bit shy, so it's one of those interviews, the minute it's released, you'll see it's a bit dry to start off with, but we both warmed up as the time went on. And then also, guys, there is a new season coming on the 360 show. We're going to be changing up things from next week onwards. I will announce that and let you guys exactly know what to look out for. I would love to share with you the opening titles for the new season coming up. Hope you enjoy it. Have a look at this. And that is that for this week's 360 show. Plenty more to come. So keep an eye out on my social media platforms, Twitter, X, and Instagram. Also, like and subscribe to this channel. And I will be updating you with regards to what I get up to over there in Lords. I'm taking my 2 sons with some mates as well of mine and their sons. I absolutely can't wait to watch the Proteas hopefully beat Australia. That's all. Take care. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you all soon.